This is how the old town looks like on a Sunday morning. So we will be spending the rest of our morning exploring and learning about the Basque culture here at San Telmo Museum. Apparently, many traditional sports started off with rivalry among common folks during daily works. Competition arises, bets were made, and voila, a new sport will be invented. After hours of cultural exploration, our pincho crawl kicked off. We started at Canderias. They offer one of the best pinchos we had in San Sebastián. Their sea urchin was simply spectacular. This is crappie. After tasting their phenomenal pinchos, we gave their warm dishes a go. We ordered pork cheeks, seared scallop and shrimp, a mini burger, and seared foie gras, which also are just as good as the cold pinchos. We then hopped on a less busy bar after that since many places became way too crowded for us. We ordered 4 different pinchos and a croqueta. Foods were okay, but nothing to shout about. One thing I've noticed during our trip is that great pincho restaurants are usually packed. So if you want good foods, follow the crowd. We then stopped by a very quiet place for some coffee and ordered something sweet. I forget the name of the place, and honestly, I had better desserts. We found out that many restaurants were closed on Sunday, and it was a rather stormy evening, so we then settled with the first eatery that we saw that was opened, and it was actually a pizza place that serve surprisingly good foods. So I've been walking for almost 2 hours now along the coastal area of San Sebastián. The sound of the waves hitting the rocks, the smell of the salty air make us so hungry. We're heading back to town to have some seafoods and some pinchos. Casa Urula has a very positive review on the internet. We wanted to see if it's worth the hype, so we purposely came very early to beat the crowd. And we came with very high expectations. We first checked out the cold pinchos displayed at the bar and ordered tuna marinated in olive oil, and then asked the staff for some recommendations, which they happily obliged. We were then served with outstanding and elaborate dishes that showcases the best of Basque cuisine. You guys, this is a must-visit place in San Sebastián, and I cannot recommend it high enough. All those delicious morsels plus a glass of wine and a bottle of water cost us only €18.80. This family-owned and Michelin-recommended bar and restaurant certainly lives up to its reputation. The next bar we visited offered more traditional dishes. Foods were hearty and generously portioned. We had some codfish topped with caramelized onion, as well as crab meat filled paprika in tomato-based sauce. We also ordered their house specialties, which were veal shank, which were cooked long enough to make it fork tender, and I also ordered blood sausage, which somehow reminds me of Filipino dinuguan. I enjoyed it, but hubby, not so much. To cap off our pincho crawl, we went to Atari. They have delicious looking pinchos at the bar, but we came here to satisfy our sugary cravings. The place thankfully have desserts that blow my socks off. We ordered torrija, which was torched to perfection and was served with ice cream, as well as a brownie that is moist, rich, nutty, and just as good. There's no better way to end today's lunch than indulging in these amazing confections. And the best part, all those high quality foods plus coffee and water cost us just over 16 euros. Hello, it's day 6 here in San Sebastián. We still have one whole day to explore some parts of the city that we haven't seen before. For lunch, we went to another Michelin recommended place for our last pincho crawl here in San Sebastián. The spread at this bar looked very appealing, but picking up a favorite, like always, is not really an easy feat and can get a little bit confusing. Nevertheless, we managed to score a few delicious cold pinchos, and we also ordered 2 warm dishes, namely they're full of bone tender ribs and a steak and cheese sandwich. San Sebastián, and the weather was not particularly good today. It's been drizzling and it's cloudy, so we decided to have our last dinner here at our hotel's restaurant, Rua 887. I don't know if that's how it should be called. Anyway, we have a table facing the cathedral, and while eating we have this view. After munching on complimentary olives, our appetizers arrive. We shared a plate of savory anchovy fillet laid on diced up tomato and crumbly bread, and a simple but very tasty tomato and avocado salad with tuna fillet. After a promising start, our expectations naturally raise up. Luckily for us, our main dishes were just as tasty and flavorful. Now, contrary to the bustling and crowded tapa bars, where securing a comfortable seat is like winning a bet or a lottery, having a designated table and being attended to by service crew who doesn't appear to be rushed or overwhelmed by the madding crowd is like a breath of fresh air. This mellow ambiance was a nice change and actually not a bad way to end our trip in this lively city. We immensely enjoyed our week-long holiday eating spree here in San Sebastián. We might have visited a lot of bars and restaurants and ate as much pinchos as our stomachs can handle, but we know that there are still many great establishments we've missed and foods that we haven't tried. Nevertheless, we are truly grateful to have a glimpse of the amazing Basque cuisine, and we are grateful to sample some of its fabulous foods. And with this, hold on, I want to say, Eskerrik asko, Donostia.